What up team, and welcome to the Fitzroy Motorsport 2024 year in review. First up, big shout out to everyone that engages with the channel, that engages with me or Charlotte when we're out and about. Yeah man, it's been a big year for us, and onwards and upwards. We're about to start 2025 the same way we started 2024, back at Summer Nats, but this year we'll have Nut out with us again. So Summer Nats 33 was the time we had the car there. Summer Nats 37, we're back baby. So yeah, pretty much 2024 was massive, man. We kicked it off Summer Nats 36, flew into Sydney, caught up with me boy McKinchy. When I saw what they were up to, they were getting Tim's VL sort of up and ready, trying to get racing to get to Summer Nats. Over at the Burnout Master stand here with Liz Gracie. She wants to be on one of my videos so bad. She's got something to say. What do you got to tell us?
Small block life, mate.
Nah, just hopefully I don't hit the wall like yesterday. love hitting the wall, but it's not what the judges like, eh? So
you're supposed to say V8.
Oh, and V8.
Look at Ryan, he's taking Jake Myers out for a skid. All good, Jake? Right. We got to support the 4 Kiwi cars that went over and try and capture some memories for those dudes, try and offer some advice and support. Man, what a trip, you know. So good seeing Ryan Shercliffe out there just smashing goals. Gaz out there doing his normal thing, hold my beer, I got this. Unfortunate for Braden, you know, having mechanical drama. Same with Liz and Ryan. You know, feel gutted for everyone. When you go all that way, you make all the effort to be, you know, pumped at the final hurdle by mechanical failures. But this is motorsport. This is what we do, and unfortunately, it happens to the best of us. Yo, what up, peeps? I don't know if you can hear me or not. We're just on the engine pad for the Masters prediction. Man, Summer Nats is just such a beast of a machine. The crowds, the cars, the carnage, the antics. If you're sitting on the sideline wondering, hey, should I go to Summer Nats? Yes, you should. Yes, you bloody should go to Summer Nats. You've got to check it out. It's a bucket list thing, man. Bucket list. When I think about, you know, one of the biggest things we've done in 2024, and that was making the decision to ditch the mighty manual, ditch the T56, and we went with Powerglide. You know, the amount of grief I've got for doing this, and the amount of headache and trials and tribulations I've had because of doing this, you know, has been shit. But I mean, once we get it right, and I won't know now until we've done some of that, if we've got it right, it'll be on. The car feels its best, like it drives its best, it handles its best. It is finally sort of where it should be for a burnout car. So fingers crossed, this is the year of nut out. Improving. No more damages, no more breakages, no more let's go. Let's just go. I just want to shout out to my boys at Firestone, you know, Paul, Corey and Trevi. You know, they've put the yards in on this car to help me, you know, suss all this out. Not really the vid I wanted to make, but we're doing it. So after 5-6 long years of just beating on this thing as a blind manual, well, as a manual burnout car, finally gave up and wanted to play around with the big boys. So we have now gone auto. So we've got the power guide. I know it's going to be a bit of disappointment out there from some of you guys, but fuck, man. The last 3 major events I've had some sort of failure due to clutch, not getting to top gear, can't make the tyre smoke. But now, hopefully that's alleviated that, and now we can possibly compete against some of the big boys and girls out there. Fast forward to the end of Jan, we have our first event, which is the mighty Muscle Car Madness. First event with the auto, fuel pump shit the bed. Was up all night getting it sorted, but we got it sorted, and then we went out there for the skid, and it was awesome. Felt like a way better car, but diff gears were still wrong, so we were making the instant smoke, we just weren't making the volume of smoke.
Sorry, he has a small penis.
Do it again! Oh no, it's stalled! Sunday, last day of Muscle Car Madness. We're all lined up for the finals. Still hot as fuck. Crowd is building. We are all loaded up, nut out on board. We're in the Hugh Hef party bus, full of merch, and we are on our way to the beautiful Wairarapa for the Rapinets burnout competition. Rapinets, we had the new diff gearing in. I still hadn't been for a tune and sorted it out. So we were still sort of on the manual tune, running an auto, and with these real long ass diff gears. I was actually worried the whole time going over there that it wasn't going to hook up. But she hooked up. She's got awesome torque, so it just powered through it. Made fumes of smoke. Massive fumes of smoke. Awesome. 3 mean skids. Obviously my driving wasn't overly aggressive, but we made fucking volumes of smoke, man. She was screaming. We got 3 sets off, 3 good skids. We come away with the win in the open class. I was happy with that. And then we got this. We just had a boom all the time, as we always do at the race. Fuck, I haven't really done any videoing today. We've just been too busy with the car, too busy with the event. Good news is the car is hooking up and we are just pumping smoke. What is up, team? What a weekend, man. You guys smashed us on the merch. We only had a short period of time to sell it during the pit walk and the line was huge the whole time. Thank you very much. For all those that bought something, every dollar you spend with us obviously goes back into our car, goes back into our program with Charlotte and her racing, and you know, everything we do to help promote the sport and try and achieve more at events. On that side of thing, I'm getting a lot of people asking about, can we post merch, can we do all this? We want to see you at the events. We want the events to be awesome. What we're doing is we're giving first priority for all our merch to those that come to events. We want to see you at the events. You know, we want to support the promoters that put on the events for us to go to. We will throw some up for sale online after we've finished a couple more events, and so whatever's left over we'll put online or we'll put in my shop in Wainui. The important thing is to support these promoters that put these events on for us. You know, they pay big money, venue hires, insurances, just all sorts of costs to make these events happen. So best way to support them is come to the event. Best way to support us, come to the event. And looking forward to this weekend. We are going to Invercargill, right down the bottom of the South Island. We're going to be down there with the Mucka Motorsport team, I guess throwing some mucka years in the air and supporting the Faded team who are putting on the Hard Park Takeover. Never been down that part of the South Island before, but we are looking forward to it. But yeah, we'll bring some merch, so we hope to see you there. Wow, that very week it went from the massive highs to the massive lows, because we got back from Rapinats, we got the car off the trailer, we changed the tyres, we fucking filled the fuel up and that's it, put it back in the trailer and headed to Invercargill, where we proceeded to blow up the Ranger, get stuck on the side of the road for 7 or 8 hours, finally got towed. Someone came, took my trailer to Invercargill, then someone came from Invercargill, picked us up with the car. All right, peeps, so this is what we've been on the side of the road for a long time now, and we've perfected our mana wave. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you exactly as you wind it up, and you're like, that's what you do. That's how you do it, peeps. That's how you get toots, maximum toots. Got to go do a mana wave.
Oh, late to the party.
Late to the party.
He's phone.
No, that's how you do it, Keith. You do it.
Oh my God!
Went down there, literally like 1 lap, then went out for a little drifty boy session, cooked the trans, screwed the trans, ruined the weekend. What a nightmare, man. I can't, you know, as I say, massive highs to massive lows. So we were able to hire a rental ute down there, towed my trailer home. Troy from Faded brought my Ranger back, 6 weeks later from the mechanics. I I managed to hook up a deal, get a second-hand motor, get that installed. We got it back on the road, and I just traded that fucking thing in as soon as possible. Sometimes you can have all the luck. We had a wicked weekend last weekend, went and smashed set after set after set. Car ran flawlessly. We've come all the way to Invercargill, and I've gone and cooked the trans.
Okay, we're very, very close now.
Yeah.
There's a big
Hilux, so we're going to hire and we're going to drive that home to Wellington, but we're going to tow our trailer. But we've got to hurry up something to make the brakes and everything work when the guys coming. So we're going to make something. Anyway, after we're back from Invercargill, you know, back in the speedway season's in full swing. I think we were getting towards the end. Charlotte, she's out there doing her thing. I haven't raced. Car's not ready. Car won't be ready for another season or so. You know, she's had a few big accidents this year. She's getting better, but you know, it is what it is, man. So she keeps soldiering on. So love my girl. She keeps soldiering on no matter what. Well, that's speedway season done and dusted. But yeah, bloody what a roller coaster of a season. Next season, coming back. We're coming back. I was absolutely hanging out for a drive all season this season and just sitting on the sidelines watching. It's killer. So yeah, we'll be out next season. Let's go. Is there some things from this season that you'd rather forget?
I've had like a couple big crashes that I definitely want to forget. Being knocked off the track a couple times, definitely want to forget those. But yeah, other than that, I really enjoyed my season.
So once we got back from Invercargill, we actually sent the car to Delta J Panel and Paint for a bit of a tidy up. You know, she was looking real baggy. So ended up going in for what I thought was a tidy up. Ended up being a full panel paint respray. So we got her back and then gearbox out, sent that off for a rebuild, and yeah, that was rebuild one, probably wrong foot with the two. All right, so she's back, and she's bloody immaculate. So a few things. It's hard to sort of picture this now, but the amount of work that's gone into this rear guard. So this was actually punched all the way up quite a bit, and when we put the tubs in, so all this was warped, all split, all this here was split, and this was all warped, and it was just, I would hate to think how many hours they've put into this rear guard. So here now, you know, the old Chemz had a full panel and paint. She's looking schmick again, but I'm too afraid to fucking skid it, don't want to damage it up and all that kind of stuff. So I was just like, oh man, I got this fucking Mark 1 Escort shell sitting there. I've got this LS3 sitting under the bench that's been sitting there for 4 or 5 years. And so I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna get this car ready for chrome. And I just fucking smashed into it. Shout out to Corey, CDK Performance, you know, hooking me up all the parts that I needed to make it all happen. We ripped all the injection off, ripped all the electronics out of this thing. Made it real simple, put a carby on it, MSD, let's go. And yeah, you know, shout out to Carl, Tony, Timo, these guys, fuck, they just made it happen, man. We all jumped in, got our bits and pieces done, got the car done relatively quick, I thought, and then we took it to chrome. How good, you know, this car was built for Charlotte. This is what I want her first skid car to be, you know, so, but then I'm like, oh man, I'm having too much fun doing this, you know, I want this to be my car, so, but, so we're going to share it anyway. So we got to chrome. Who knows what's going to happen, man? This is you know, something that I've sort of slapped together fuck all knowledge, you know, just, you know, ringing the boys, watching YouTube vids. And pretty much we went out there, man, and the thing skid. I mean, it skids like a piece of shit. It needs lots of work. It needs all the suspension redone. It needs the brakes done. It needs lots, but it skids, man. And it went hard. I ended up blowing the radiator hose off at the end on the third skid. Obviously, it needs some tuning and bits and pieces, but we'll get there. And I was super wrapped with how this turned out, man. It's a cool little car, and I think, you know, this is version 1.0, so keeping that skid mark, version 1.0, and then we'll see how it goes. You know, obviously this is going to transition over the next year or two, hopefully into something else. So once chrome was done and dusted, you know, I was broke, pretty much broke. All this shit costs so much money, man. It's got to come from somewhere. So I was like, oh, I need to start, you know, getting rid of some of the shit that I've got left over, getting rid of bits and pieces. Doing something. So I decided, all right, we're going to put a car show on at the bottle store and the workshop. You know, had a bit of a swap meet. We sold merch. Everyone came along with their cars and stuff. It was awesome Father's Day car show. I was so wrapped. Did a little skid mark, and yeah, man, we sold a bit of merch, sold a few bits and pieces, and that sort of paid for our gearbox rebuild on Nut Out. So obviously, while the car was looking so good, I was like, oh, we're going to do a car show. So we went up to the Taurua Rodders Chrome and Custom car show just up in Levin. Not something I would normally do, not the type of car that would normally go to these events. But yeah, it was awesome, man. Had a blast. Once again, heaps of people through, taking photos, having chats. It's perfect. It's what I love. So I forgot to mention, actually, yeah. So we traded in the Ranger on a new Ranger. Stupid as it may sound, I'm absolutely loving this Ranger. So this is a 3-litre V6 diesel, and it hauls ass. It tows so good, like night and day difference between the 2017 Ranger to this one. This is a 2022, but yeah, it goes so good. Wrapped with it, absolutely love it. So by now, we sort of got the trans back in, Nut Out. I think we got the trans back in, Nut Out. Yeah. So we had the trans back on Nut Out, done all the bits and pieces, and so me and Tony sat down and we're like, fuck, we need to do a podcast, man. So we did like so I'm going to say this is my first ever podcast, and I thought it came out pretty cool. So Nut Chat, we called it Nut Chat. This was the first one. It was AutoFest preview, and fuck, it was awesome. I thought it was awesome. It's well received, put a bit of work into it, and yeah, I enjoyed it immensely. We're probably going to do another one. Probably going to do a Summer Nats preview. We'll see. We're running out of time here, man. But fast forward, AutoFest. My mother-in-law passed away. The funeral was on the same day as AutoFest, the main day for the skids. So I pretty much, I'd rung Paddy and let her know and says, listen, I'm not going to be able to make it. We've got the funeral that day. My wife was like, no, you need to still go. You know, I didn't want to leave her at the funeral and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it all sort of worked out. Paddy had brought it up at driver's briefing to see if everyone was on board with me still skidding. I wouldn't be able to qualify, but they would let me come in at number 21. So they were taking the top 20, and they added one more spot to allow me to skid. And obviously, shout out to everyone that said sweet as, no problem. In my head I was like, there's no way I'm not qualified, so I felt happy and to take that, and I wasn't taking a spot away from anyone else. So, I appreciate everyone that jumped on board for that, and so we went out there, pretty much got there. I was on my own. A couple of the boys, Shane Dallas, Glenn Hibbs jumped in, helped out, got the car ready to be scrutineered, and then I rolled straight down to Light 'em Up Lane, did a bit of a test skid because we'd only just done the Trenz, and then later that night did my skid. Skid was on, judges agreed, and ended up winning the pro class and getting second overall, which qualified me for a pro ticket at Summernats, and so we on, baby. We on. Shout out to Sean Jury, who, in his Barra beat me. And I said I was never getting beaten by a Barra, but I did. After copious amounts of beers that night, we then packed up and head down the road to Hampton and had a crack at a couple of power skids. And it was awesome. Then we sort of loaded up the car. I went back to Waitakere, picked up the missus and kids who were at her, obviously been at mum's house, because that's where everyone went after the funeral. And then we headed home to Wellington. And then it was time to prep the car. Well, we had to make the decision first whether we were going to go. I felt it was important that we had to go, because if we don't take up all these offerings that we're getting, they won't get offered. So, there's some retard in the car park. Almost took out the fence. Anyway, so we made the decision. So a bit of a list, get stuck into it, work out what needs doing, what's important, prioritise what we can, and let's go. Alright, what up team? It's been a while since we've done the vlog, but I guess we're going to start moving forward, doing a few more, leading up to Summernats. Obviously you probably know that we want a pro ticket to Summernats, so we're going, baby. I'm just going to start getting the car ready. It's going to be shipped in like 2 weeks. Maybe got to actually reroute the exhaust back over and out the back so we don't have any fires. Steering work, we'll check that. There's a lot of little bits and pieces that we are going to look over to make sure that we're going to give ourselves the best shot of being reliable and not have any issues in Australia. Big thing to sort was getting the car over to Llama and get on the dyno. So it's been a year, I've been hounding to get on the dyno. Things haven't worked out, other things have happened, and anyway. So when we finally got it on the dyno, first pull, not doing fuck all. Second pull, he's like, Mark's like, oh, this converter's no good. It just keeps blowing through the lockup, slipping like fuck. And that's obviously what was causing all my issues. It was getting too hot, slipping, cooking the oil, fuck the Trenz. So we had to, by then, we're like 7 days out from the car needing to be in Auckland for shipping. So sourced a converter that was built for someone else, that hopefully suits our application. Well, was built for our application for something else. So we've run with that. Had the gearbox in there like 3 times because obviously nothing fits and goes back in nicely like things usually should do. So we get that done, get the car out, take it for a drive down the road, feels all good. I have to do a gender reveal for Carl's son Seth, so we use it as a test skid, feels good, hooks up. I'm still a bit paranoid on it. The next day we get it back to Llama, where we do some more test pulls. Converter's sweet, but now the alternator is dying under load and just still never got a decent tune. So we're pretty much heading to Summernats with a tune that's been in the car for a while. It's not making big numbers, torque's not too bad. But yeah, so once we get over there, we'll put a new alternator on it, new belt, and a few other bits and pieces. So after leaving Llama that time, I went straight down the road to Bruce Mills, outdoor hoist, on the steam cleaner for fucking hours, rinsing off all the pink from the gender reveal and just trying to clean the grease and grime. Get that all done, suss out my tyres, then head to Auckland where we unload the cars at Chicana, and then they go into a workshop waited to be loaded onto a container. So yeah, pretty cool process. Done it before, so sort of knew what we were into, so try to make it as good as I could. still on. Following week, still busy as. The boys from Just a Tip-In come down, hang out for the night. We do a podcast for their channel, have a few too many beers. Works out good. I thought it was great. But once again, I waffle on like I always do, way too much. So yeah, jump over onto their channel and watch the podcast, about an hour and a half long. Just talking about life in general, really. And so we're into the 24-25 Speedway season, and we were only just getting Charlotte's first race of the season done this meeting, and her only race of the season so far with all the rainouts we've had. Oh, it's just never ending, man. Never ending with Speedway. It's been tough, a very tough season. Moving forward, now this is so exciting. LS Fest, Liz and Ryan Gracie, it's their little event they've come up with, and they've got a private pad, and they're like, hey, we're doing this. I was like, put me down, and then I was like, oh man, I'm going to make this Charlotte's first ever event, because remember, my car's in Aussie, it's on its way to Aussie. And so I messaged Ryan and says, listen, hey, do you mind if Charlotte skids at this? He's like, nah, go for it.
Hi, my name's Charlotte Ruby. I'm 14 years old, and this weekend I'll be swapping out the mini stock for the burnout car at LS Fest for my first ever skid. I can't do it. This girl's in town now. So make sure you follow along on Fitzroy Motorsport, and make sure to watch your backs because a new girl's in town. Yeah.
Huh? And what a buzz. I mean, this is probably the highlight of my year. So, you know, Charlotte's first time ever having a skid, doing anything like that, even really driving the car. So basically just me teaching her. Crowd was so good, man. Everyone was so encouraging. Everyone was coming for a chat, and I couldn't have asked for a better place to show her, teach her, get her involved. I'm still over the moon, still buzzing from it now. Just, you know, this is why I do these vlogs and stuff. It's, you know, it's making memories, man. The laughs, the giggles, oh, it's just so. The enjoyment factor for me is awesome. You know, like, I hope my kids look back in 20 years time and go, Dad, man, we did some cool shit, you know? And that's exactly what these vlogs are about, man, making memories.
Did I? Yeah. I think you put off the gas. Oh, sorry. Alright, let's go. Do you want to get out? Yeah.
How was that?
Pretty good.
How do you feel?
Pumped up.
Hey?
Pumped up.
You're pumped up, that's good. Alright, so that pretty much brings us to the end of my 2024 year in review. As I'm editing this up now, I'm just preparing to head to Summer Nats 37, where we will once again have another crack at the fucking biggest burnout comp in the world. This time, I don't want to be a ping pong ball on those on the walls. Taking a good crew over once again. We're actually going to leave the car over there for about 6 or 7 months. So we're going to be doing Summer Nats and then Bonanza. So when Bonanza is on, which is the new Burnout Masters Grand Final, I will be in Japan. So I'm committed to having the car there. So my good buddy Nick Kinchy is going to be driving Nuff out at Bonanza and having a crack at that for me. We have also sort of said yes to Rocky Nats. I'm not 100% confirmed on that yet, because it comes down to costs. We are going to do Brasher Nats, and that will be the last event for Nut Out in Australia, and then we will pack it up and bring it back home. So once again, big mana wave to all those that have watched till the end, that have been involved in anything that we've done this season. Hats off to you guys. And skids on, man. Oh, don't forget, you know, I still, you know, check out my column in the NZ-V8 magazine, the Burnout Files, where we also talk about burnouts, the scene in general, and anything burnout related, man. Let's go.